SPNation Season 3 brought to you by Sports Plus. In the Sports Debate Show, we welcome your thoughts. Say what you gotta say, so speak your mind freely. I'm your host for tonight, Kyla Cortez, and joining me are El Banal and Coach Martin Antonio. How are you guys? Happy Chinese New Year!
Yes.
Red na red ako, syempre. May kasabihan about luck.
Yep.
Why not, diba?
Pero year of the snake. Hopefully everybody gets lucky this year. Have your hardest year ever, so you will be propelled forward.
Hey,
So yung
I like that ad.
So yung ad na yun.
Have a hard year.
Have your hardest year this year to prepare you for the success that's
It's
going
not
to come.
year of the snake, it's year of the mamba.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Gino, kailangan ko ng size 14. Kailangan ko mahanap ng size 14. Kung saan na ako pumunta. Strike out sa Legend Blue. Strike out ako dun sa mga past releases. Yung Year of the Mamba, wala akong nahanap na size. Ayoko bumili sa reseller.
Malay mo, after this live, may magpadala na sa'yo.
Uy.
I don't take anything for free. If it's for sale, if it's SRP, hit me up. Coach Hammer 613, alam nyo na. Size 14.
I will take anything for free.
Oh.
So, if gusto niya ibigay sa akin.
Ayan, yan.
Why not?
13, 12, 13. O, 13, 14. Pag free, it's good enough for me. Pero we'll take it on SRP din.
Okay, before we start, sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. Whether you're a diehard fan or simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you covered. So register now at sportsplus.ph. So our hot takes for tonight, una-una remembering Mamba, of course.
Yep.
Right? And of course, we have gaano ba kaastig ang Red Bull noon. Babalikan natin kung bakit nga ito naging hot take, no? And then of course, our NFL special, Chiefs-Eagles rivalry.
Kaya ka naka-red.
Kaya naka-red.
Sabihin mo na yung totoo.
Not only.
Sabihin mo na yung totoo.
Not only.
Well, actually
Not
ako,
Chinese
kasi ina-assume ninyo na Detroit Lions fan ako. I support Detroit, I support the Chargers, but my team is really the New England Patriots. Yan talaga, yun yung kinalaki ako, Tom Brady, kaya ako number 12 sa San Beda, TB12. But yun yung sinasupport ko. And hopefully this discussion would further cement me as a Patriots fan.
Thrilling na discussion later. But of course, we also have our SPN expert picks. So, let's start with remembering Mamba. You know what? I'll just leave this to you guys. No? Sige, go. Take it away.
Ano ba? Remembering Kobe Bryant. Of course, it's his 5th death anniversary,
Yes.
if we say. Everybody has a Kobe Bryant story. Diba? Pero ako kasi, this was when I started watching basketball. Michael Jordan was at the tail end. Naalala ko yung broadsheet, yung Junior Inquirer ran his story after the All-Star, during the All-Star weekend. Naalala ko, kinut out ko pa yung mga kasali sa slam dunk competition. It was one of the first things that I remembered kasi si Kobe was there and he had a cool name, he had a cool ad for his shoes. Adidas was in the up and up nun. So ako, parang I liked him even before kasi hindi ako Laker fan, more of a player fan ako.
Okay.
So I like his swag, I like the way that crossover, it's my move. Yung the way that he delivered it. Total package for me as a marketer si Kobe Bryant. And as he progressed in his career, I love how he embraced his inner villain. And yung demand niya for excellence is so high that I think he's the only guy that can at least operate at that level with MJ. Ayaw ko ayala. Kasi ako, that's what I see. That if you're not going for your excellence, you might as well not suit up if you're playing with him. That's my main takeaway. That we've seen the accolades, we've seen the whole mystique of the Mamba mentality that affected generations and will affect generations. Kasi even the superstars now, Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Talaga.
And isa ako dun sa mga generations na naambunan nung mentality niyan. We were in actually, Kobe is our GOAT. Like our generation. We were in high school when yun yung dominant era niya. And for me, I think he's one of the most underrated players today. I remember that 2020, right before the pandemic, talagang
I could remember where I was.
Oh my gosh.
I could remember where I was. I was in Davao, in a hotel. My best friend from New York calls me at the middle of the night and tells me love died. Love died on that mountain.
Right. Right.
So parang ako, anong nangyari?
Yeah.
Kasi, tumawag sa akin ng gitna ng madaling araw si Philip Medinilla, shoutout, congrats, you're getting married soon. But my best friend called me, the middle of the night sa Philippine time, telling me that. It was in New York siya, it blew up on the news. Parang, ano nangyari? And then, I scrolled. Kasama ko si Coach Rodney Santos at si Kobe Bryant, parang ako. Surreal. Parang he was so young when we lost him. Yun nga, goat natin siya.
Right. It was almost unbelievable kasi parang it was too soon. But it was also the idea that, wait, Kobe Bryant is untouchable. Same category as probably LeBron and Michael Jordan. I mean, baka hindi mamamatay ito. May parang
Invincible
di
ba?
Parang, that can't happen to Kobe, di ba? And like I said, like he was our GOAT. Sobrang bata pa namin nung 90s era ni Jordan. It was our childhood, but when we were, at least I can say the generation of athletes, when we were taking sports seriously into a career, it was Kobe. So siya yung GOAT namin. Yes, maybe not in numbers, but in our generation, he was the GOAT. Hindi pa si LeBron nun eh. And I can remember ice baths, putting on the 24 jersey, not out of yabang, but it's also like 23 plus 1, di ba? It's a goal for him eh. That's the Mamba mentality na I'm trying to be better than Michael Jordan. Not because, I feel cocky or...
That's what he aims for.
That's what he aimed for. That's exactly what the Mamba mentality is. And for our generation, iyakan talaga lahat nun eh.
Totoo.
Talaga makikita mo sa mga posts. And that was before the pandemic.
Yes.
And for me, he was... The only argument that I can make for Kobe Bryant against Michael Jordan had a better career, whatever, but he was our GOAT because that Mamba mentality thrived in a guard-heavy era. He was going against AI, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Si Jordan, big man era siya nag-thrive eh. Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, David Robinson. They were all, wala siyang Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller lang siguro. Yung nananalo na siya. And so, for me, it was a testament to his will, his power, his mindset. Yes, you will say that I only won with Shaq, but I went out there to prove it again and again and again and again. And it affected a generation. And even to the point after his career, he created a storytelling production to help people in the younger generation to find that inner Mamba mentality. And so, it wasn't only that he embodied it, he wanted to activate and engage people, especially the younger generation, to find their Mamba mentality as well. So, it is the year of the Mamba.
Yeah.
Size 13.
Ako talagang, kasi as a coach, you want players that absolutely max out, wouldn't take no for an answer. And this is what makes you generational. This is the thing that would be remembered in eternity. It's Air Jordan, it's how they changed the game, it's Allen Iverson's braids. But Mamba mentality, when you say, he is such a gifted storyteller. The way that he embraced his inner villain after the Colorado incident in 2004. Nobody wanted to sign him for a sneaker brand. Nike made him their main pitch guy. And he created this mystique of having that killer instinct meshed with an animal, meshed with the mindset that he embraces that now resonates through generations and will be told by, as we get older in generation namin, you need to see Kobe Bryant. He is one of the most fundamentally sound players. One of the most lahat kasi athletic eh. Pero siya, the mechanics, the footwork, the work ethic, you name it,
Right.
he's crazy. He's maniacal that way. So, yun yung naalala. Pero ako, I really, hindi ko to sinasabi kasi lahat ginagamit na to dati. Kahit absentee dad naman, sinasabi nila girl dad sila. Yung nga kayong plastic. Mga plastic eh. Girl dad, tapos nasa tambayan na kung san-san. Naiirita ako noon eh. Pag yung mga nagsabi, girl dad ako, girl dad ka ba? Ba't ako? Kasi I'm not lifting my own share. But now I'm spending time with my daughter. I mean, it's very heartbreaking for him to die twice in that plane crash. You were not able to protect your daughter, whom I know that he dearly loves all his kids, but Gigi has a special place in him because she has a lot of him in her, diba? She would have been the greatest female player with the way that she was moving, with the mindset that she was with the things that I would go on a limb to say that UConn might have lost one of their best recruits ever in Gigi Bryant, but yung being a dad. And for him, that was his next phase. That even for a little time that he had, he poured into his daughter. That nakita niya yung progress of Gigi learning the game and nagdo-dominate na. So, girl dad, dahil nauso, di ba? Lahat girl dad eh. Parang girl dad ka kasi namatay si Kobe, wag ako. Sorry, pero sabi ko nga, the truth, my loyalty ends when the truth starts. And you ain't no girl dad. Hindi porket meron kang anak na babae and we have different stories with us. But again, shout out to all the dads who are pouring into their kids and making them better. That's what he does.
Yeah. On the flip side, I am going to be a girl dad.
Congrats, brother. Welcome to the club.
Sir, it's a girl dad. So it's excited. I'm excited even more to have a role model in Kobe in the way he raised a Mamba mentality kid.
It would change you.
To be honest, not everyone, even including myself, we didn't love Kobe in the beginning. Especially his early years. Like, we were more of a T-Mac fan. Mas likable si T-Mac, Vince Carter, AI. Si Kobe was like, masyadong mayabang to. And yet, we cannot say that we hated him for a long time. After that, we began to love him and saw who he really is. And Kobe took that pull-up mid-range jumper of MJ and took it to a whole nother level. Counter upon counter.
Different level.
And so, we will always remember Kobe Bryant.
And yun talaga you pour into the game and the game would love you back 1,000-fold. And it's what he did. It's what we want our players as coaches, our kids as dads, and as teammates, that's what you want to see when you're pushing other people. But make no mistake about it, he was one tough SOB. And winning in anything that he touches, that's what he does. And that's Mamba mentality.
He won an Oscar, diba?
Oh! Hashtag Mamba forever. Mamba forever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have our time later to do the recap, but right now it's time to move on to our second hot take. So, gaano ba talaga kaastig ang Red Bull noon?
Sobrang astig to. Personal take. Ilan taon ka nito, Ael?
My dad was coaching Talk and Text. Parang kaka-galing niya lang, kaka-champion na sa Ateneo. Tapos kinuha siya sa PNP. So, 03 yun. 03. Pero yung era nila, early 2000s to mid-2000s.
So, inabutan mo ba yung tail end na nandun sila?
Actually,
kakapasok ni Enrico.
Nandun.
Kakapasok ni Enrico.
Yeah.
So, he was one of the best players. Right. But ako, inabutan ko kasi yung expansion team. When the 6 guys, Lori Tugade, Junti Valenzuela, Jimel Torreon, Kirby Raimundo, had so much fanfare because he was, again, 19 years old and making the jump in the pros. Sino pa ba yun? 6 kasi sila na inangat. Kuya Willie was the first pick in the following draft. I think it was 02. Kuya Willie, 2000 ka ba? 2001. 2001 si Kuya Willie first pick overall. And Red Bull was always, batang Red Bull, madiin. Madiin maglaro. And with the personality of Coach Cheng Yao, he was quite young back then, winning 2 championships with Swift, Vergel Meneses, that team. And they had a handful of veterans that they picked in the dispersal draft. I think it was Ato Agustin, yung isa sa mga una nilang marquee guys, JV Gayoso. JV Gayoso was with Tandoy. Si Coach JV. Ato Agustin, Noli Locsin had his time then with Red Bull. Some of those guys, some of the vets that we know nila. But it was Lordi Tugade, Junti Valenzuela, Jimel Torreon, Devon Harp, and Kirby Raimundo. Yun yung una nila. And then Enrico came in. Larry Fonasher, who was a second-round pick, became a Rookie of the Year in 06, if I'm not mistaken. And ito pa, yung mga import, Tony Lang, played for Duke, won a championship here, 2000 Commissioner's Cup. Julius Wosu, nagdalawang import pa yan. Nakalimutan ko sino kasabay nito, James Penny, naka-headband, naglaro pa sa Tokentex yan. These are their championships. And I mean, the owner of this team, Savior Guy. Savior Guy din. Si Randolph Terry. Yeah, that's his name. He was my batchmate ko siya. Kalaro ko siya mula grade 6. That's their batch. 1 year younger kila Chris.
Right.
1 year younger kila Chris. And his dad was the owner of this squad. And we lost him during Milenio. It was a tough time for Red Bull. That's why they were not able to recuperate because the name escapes my head. But the Photokina franchise was really known as a winner from their PBL league pa. And then akit nila yung Nucleus kasabay ng Tanduay. So malakas yung dating ng team na to. And they were really a tough out. And parang ano sila para silang Hinebra na new kids on the block na may mga Phil-Am. Ganun yung dating nila. Kasi pag nagtatapat, madiin maglaro eh. And this was the glory days of the PBA. In the mid-90s to the early part of 2000s, dun sila nakapasok.
Yeah, and kung papansinin nyo, kung di nyo kilala itong mga names na binanggit ni Coach Hammer tsaka names na babanggitin ko. Tanong nyo yung tito nyo, tanong nyo yung tatay nyo. Meron silang dalawang starting five guys sa team nila. Lahat to pwede mag-starting five.
Pagka nagkwento to sa inyo, yung mga tsuhin nyo tsaka mga uncle nyo, parang kami ni Ael, kulang yung 2 oras. Tapos kita nyo yung meme ni Mr. McMahon, ni Vince McMahon, yung pag tinanong mo, kasi legendary team to. Ako.
Nagsisimula pa lang dito, Kirby Raimundo, Willie Miller, obviously. Kung hindi nyo alam yun, ewan ko na lang. Lordy Tugade, Junti Valenzuela.
Grabe yung dalawang yan.
Cyrus Baguio. Rookie pa lang siya dito.
Sa dulo na lang nga siya na.
Celino Cruz. Ito, kilala nyo, nagko-coach ng Lasal. Pero baka hindi nyo na alam. Si Topex Robinson.
Sila ni Celino Cruz yung backcourt.
Sa sila yan. Ang meron pa dito legend si Nelson Asaito na Enrico Villanueva coming off of stellar college career. Yep. Dito siya na raging bull.
Yes.
Sobrang dominant spin dunk. And then Larry Fonasher, nag-rookie of the year coming off of an ACL injury. Hindi siya nakapagtapos ng Ateneo.
Kaya siya naging second round pick.
Kaya siya na second round. Pero nag-rookie of the year pa din siya. This was a team that was competing to the likes of Talk and Text with Jimmy Pagasi.
Pure Foods sila.
Ginebra, Mark Kagiwa, Helter Brand, also Danny I. Olsen na sila, Don Donativers of SMB. Top 4 team to lagi.
At saka ito yung may parity yung PBA. Yung hinihingi yung farm team. Walang farm team dati kasi yung mga umaakit sa PBA, hindi team pakiusap. Magagaling talaga maglaro. Walang butaw dyan sa PBA players no, na even the veteran guys, nakita natin, this was the breakout year ni Enrico Villanueva when they won the championship in 06. Naalala ko, he was best player of the conference and Kirby was with Pure Foods na nun. Pero ito, pinaka-paborito ko dyan, si Davon Harp. Yan talaga ang paborito ko dyan. Pag naglaro, parang import. Parang import talaga. Yung pala, import talaga. Di ko ma-confirm, di ko ma-deny. My thoughts and actions does not reflect the corporation that sponsors us here at SPNation. But again, di na bumalik dito, but he could have been. Kasi siya yung nagpauso ulit nung, dati hindi naman uso yung mga jump hook. Dati si Coach Jericho Diniera na lang yung nagja-jump hook. Tapos dumating si Davon Harp, yung baby hook, naging en vogue na naman na ay, may gumagamit. Tsaka ambidextrous to, kanan, kaliwa. Tapos ang laki, 6'6", 6'7", na burly. So silang dalawa ni Eric Mink yung match-up.
And Ali Peak, and Asi, sila yung nagbabanggaan.
Tapos bumalik ulit yung luster ng paglalaro sa post. Kasi naging Marlo Aquino, naging EJ File, not to take Dennis Espino, yun ang talagang post player. Tapos dumating tong mga to. Kasi nandun si EJ File na, si Andy Siegel, si Marlo Aquino, parang yung mga naging Stegosaurus yung Brachiosaurus, yung mga matatangkad na mahahaba. Hindi yung mga Triceratops na nagbabanggaan sa ilalim yung mga Siyempre, pagka mga post player, gusto mo medyo mga Neanderthal, yung mga banggaan ng banggaan.
But Coach Hammer, I'm curious na, ano ba talagang nangyari sa Red Bull? And if so, sa tingin mo may pag-asa ba ibalik tong franchise na to?
Well, number one, it's the cost. Make no mistake about it. Red Bull was first and foremost one of the first energy drink brands here in the Philippines. And they transitioned into diversifying their portfolio for business. Naging Barako Coffee na rin to, Barako Coffee. And syempre, ang PBA kasi, negosyo yan eh. And if your expenses, if your overhead is way bigger than your actual production, syempre you have to scale down. And when they lost their owner, yun nga, when disaster struck us here, we lost a lot of lives there. And when they lost the head of the snake, of course, there would be a leadership void. And number one that they would save is the mother company. Corporate decision yan eh. And it's a lot, ang laki ng expense kasi if you're running a PBA team. Make no mistake about it, it's in the high millions. Hindi lang yan yung sweldo ng mga players monthly, it's also the operating cost.
Yeah.
So syempre, if you're running a business, you gotta cut costs and they were able to sell their franchise. So yun yung, I think it's now Northport, Global Port. Di ko alam kung it's...
Kung ano yun, nagbaraka Bowl, tapos
yung naging Northport. I'm not sure about that, kung anong lineage, kung sino yung nagmana. I think Ayrton and stuff like that. But again, if they could still come back, of course, if business is good, why not? If the opportunity is right there, why not? And yung character naman ng Red Bull, it lives with rain or shine.
Yeah. And it's refreshing to see. Kasi we're talking about this kasi nagka-reunion sila. Celino Cruz, their point guard then, came home and then they decided to do it in Coach Yeng's house. Si Larry and si Enrico yung nag-organize. It's refreshing to see these familiar faces get together and meet and bond and reminisce 20 years later. And so, you know, it's real, like what Coach Hammer said, it's reminiscing the golden days of pro basketball here in the Philippines. So,
maraming kwento na noong araw yan. Dapat si Kuya Winnie nandito noong araw.
Okay, any last thoughts, guys?
Refreshing lang to see and ewan ko, parang ito yung mga tipong gusto mong magkaroon ng PBA 2K para ito yung
may mga mod niyan.
One of the
yung mga nagmo-mod ng 2K shout out sa inyo.
Ilalaban mo tong isang greatest team to.
Kanina yung naka-feature yung 2013 ba 2014 na Meralco team. Nakita ko online parang okay Baka susunod. Ito yung mod niyo yung Red Bull. Gagamitin ko si Dabon Harp.
Baka hindi
61 points.
Baka hindi pwede malaro.
Wala naman. Hindi naman sine-check yung passport sa ano.
Mick Pinisi na lang, Mick Pinisi.
Mick Pinisi. Hindi naman sine-check yung passport sa NBA 2K.
Okay, it's time to move on to our third hot take. So two Super Bowls ago when a rivalry began. Honestly, hindi naman sila yung tapatang rivalry to begin with, but it happened 2 years ago. And now, wala na yung Kelsey rivalry because Jason Kelsey's off the tournament. But Chiefs-Eagles rivalry, this is a tough match. Coach Hammer?
Okay, so Super Bowl 59 would be in New Orleans. It would be on February 10th.
Yes.
February 9 sa US, February 10 sa atin. So kami ni Kyla will not be sleeping along with Dino. And ito feeling ko si El din.
Yes,
ito yung mga team puyat. So
Super Bowl.
yung review po namin sa hapon na yun, nakainom po kami ng maraming kape sa gabi yun. Okay, but again, first factor here is their coach. Andy Reid is the winningest Eagles coach. And he is also the winningest Kansas City Chiefs coach. Andy Reid revolutionized the offense of the NFL. Why? He maximized the running quarterback. He modified the West Coast offense na tinatakbo dati nila Steve Young with the Niners. Steve Young. It was Roger Craig on those offense. Of course, Jerry Rice was there. Yun yung tinatakbo nilang offense. And then Andy Reid learned that, wanted mobile quarterbacks. That's why he had Donovan McNabb. He had Michael Vick for the Eagles. He had Terrell Owens. He had Brian Westbrook, all those bad boys in offense. But he's an offensive coach. And then you give him one of the most, if not one of one, tantalizing arms in this side of the NFL in Patty Mahomes. He has the mobility, he has the legs, he has the mindset that can maximize any matchup. Doon nagkakatalo. Kasi quarterback, sabi nga ni Nick Saban kanina, I was watching the Pivot podcast. He was interviewed. They asked him, bakit hindi ka nagtagal sa pro game? Bakit ka bumalik sa college? You can't win in the NFL if you don't have a quarterback. And Patrick Mahomes is by far the best. No. Hold up.
I tried to bait him.
Hold up! Wait a minute!
I
Wait a
want to
minute!
agree. I want to agree, to be honest.
Anywho, give Patty Mahomes to the best offensive coordinator, offensive head coach. That's how they make layers on layers on layers. Yun yung nangyayari ngayon sa Kansas City Chiefs. On the flip side, the Philadelphia Eagles is stacked to the brim
swear.
offensively and defensively. And their offensive line, you know I love my Hogs. I'm a tight end. I am the adopted brother of the offensive line. Their average height, the smallest guy on their front seven right now is their center. Cam Jurgens, who was injured in that game. Landon Dickerson plugged in. When Landon Dickerson was in, their average height on the O-line, the smallest guy was 6'5". Taller than me and on an average, and he was 320 pounds. And he is the smallest guy in that offensive line.
Yeah.
Usually, yung mga nasa tabi, yung mga malalaki na yan, ang matatangkad yung nasa dulo. Nagkataon yung offensive line ng Eagles, lahat 6'6" to 6'9", 320 pounds to 380 pounds. So imagine that. That's their strength. That's why they scored 7 rushing touchdowns.
Swear.
7. And they don't. They are a very good passing team. They have a handful of good playmakers. Goddard, A.J. Brown, sino pa ba to? Si Devontae Smith. They had a handful of those guys, but they would run it down your throat with Saquon Barkley.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, we know one thing for sure is gonna happen in this game. Either Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are gonna run you down, but also on the flip side, we know that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, whatever the situation is, they're gonna find a way to win. And so this is exciting kasi this is what's at stake. For the Eagles, they have an opportunity to have their revenge from 2 years ago. From that epic come from behind win by the Chiefs. But also history is in the making. With KC as the possible three-peat, first time ever.
First time ever.
And I was watching a Tom Brady in interview sa isang podcast the other day, and he was saying that it's so hard to win.
Back-to-back lang na.
Goat. So hard to win 1. To win 2 is super rare. To win 3, it's almost near impossible. And so I don't know if he's throwing shade or whatever, but honestly, that's the reality. It's so hard. It's never been done before. But if there's someone who can do it, or a team that can do it, it's probably KC.
Huwag kang kiligin, Kayla. Huwag kang kiligin.
Hold on. I don't know. Okay, I'll share you this. I don't know kung kailan yung I don't know kung kailan namin napag-usapan ni Coach Tay, pero may sinabi ka na wala talagang pag-asa ang Eagles, na they won't fly high.
No, they won't fly
Barkley
high.
won't go anywhere.
But
what's happening right now?
Kasi yung number 1 team that can actually defend this Eagles squad, which is the Detroit Lions, had 30 players on IR of their original roster. You only have 51 players on the roster. 51 or kasama practice squad, you're almost 60. If 50% of your team, which is most of your starters, is not around, and one of your breakout guys broke his hand in the first 3 possessions of the game, you won't be able to qualify. But Detroit was built to defend this team. Philadelphia. But they were not able to handle the speed of Washington. And then Washington had the worst run defense, which we discussed last Monday. Bad combination and Saquon Barkley. And iba kasi, this game will be won in the trenches. Alright, the top offensive line team right now, hindi ko not privy to it, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs. They have familiarity in Trey Smith, they got Creed Humphrey, they got a rotating door of tackles there, but the stability is right there with the coach and the players. Okay. Pero ang magiging key dito, ang nagpapanalo the past 2 years sa Kansas City Chiefs is Steve Spagnuolo. This guy could have been the head coach of any team that he picks, but he chose to be the defensive coordinator of this squad.
Hall of Famer also.
Oh, definitely. And there are big plays in the game against Buffalo. They were able to put in pressure. They hid that cornerback blitz towards the last part of that game. Kaya lang, Derek, ha? I'm cooking. Mahabang usapan to.
Let him cook, Derek.
Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil, along with Chris Jones, provided pressure. Yun yung strength ng team na to. And they have the Jarvis Sneed, they have the corners that can contain. And ang maganda sa Kansas City Chiefs, they are sure tacklers. But I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles defense in this game. In this game.
Wait, to win? Defense
to win?
To win, I just don't want Kansas to win. Because it would give that conversation to Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT. Yun talaga yun.
Yun lang yung ayaw mo.
Yun lang yung ayaw ko. But
Entry to the GOAT conversation.
Oo, yun lang. But kasi ako, I'm a Brady fan. I'm a New England Patriots fan. I am a do-your-job guy. I'm a Bill Belichick believer. And I love...
Coach, it's time to move on.
I love Mike Vrabel. My son will play for the Patriots if it's Mike Vrabel coaching. I wish he becomes 6'8" and plays offensive line. But, again, stacked defense. The Georgia Bulldogs who won 2 championships, na Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, who is a monster this year. Zach Bond, oh my gosh, this middle linebacker, Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl na, all-pro team pa. Surest tackler, and every time you go against Cooper DeJean, Blankenship, that defensive back crew, they punch the ball out. These guys are dogs, and it's a very good matchup because I think on paper, Philadelphia and Kansas has the most talented group of receivers and defensive players. Maraming superstar. DeAndre Hopkins is there, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy was really good, and the running backs of Kansas City. I told you this, the running backs of Kansas City, even before the playoffs started, they have Kareem Hunt, who is chugging along, Isaiah Pacheco, who has been mad for the past 2 years. Every time he runs angry, and one of my boys, Majay P. Wright, is right there. So this would be a fun Super Bowl.
I'll be very honest. I'm a KC fan. Okay? But I won't get mad
If
if
Philadelphia
Manalo
wins.
Eagles.
Kasi
To be honest, they're so underrated.
you
They're so
won't get
underrated.
mad.
I won't get mad.
But
I'll be very, very
The
sad.
Swifties
Ayun nga
will
eh.
get mad.
I don't like that
and
conversation.
it will be bad business for the NFL.
But Travis Kelce couldn't release even if his
Last
life
game.
depended on it. Oh my God! I don't know what happened to him.
18 yards lang ang bag
Hindi,
niya last game.
okay lang yung 18 yards eh. But the way that he was doing his releases, kasi I'm a tight end. He is the, sinasabi nila GOAT, no, it's Gronk. Gronk is the GOAT tight end. Gronk is the GOAT tight end. He
who's
blocks.
saying nag-GOAT si, ano?
Kasi he won and he has the most yards, he has the most touchdowns in the postseason. But the way that he played, I'm so used to Travis Kelce. Releasing clean off the line, just getting into space, getting free, getting past because he's 6'6", he has good trajectory. He looked slow. He was running on snow boots.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the matchup of offensive weapons, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley looks tantalizing. And oh my gosh, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Masusubukan. Kasi 3 beses ginawa, 4 na beses ginawa ng Buffalo Bills yung the brotherly shove. 1-yard power run down the gut. Shinare ko yung picture, kinilig ako nung nakita ko. Pero na-stop ng Kansas. May isa, pwedeng first down, pwedeng hindi. But when you're going up against the elephants of Philadelphia, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. And to the point that Washington was warned. Frankie Louvu was jumping over the line for consecutive possessions because he wanted to prevent it. Winar ni Ref Hockley that they would give an automatic touchdown to the Eagles if they continue on incurring the penalty. So it's that scary. And Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Pro Bowl players, those were the middle linebackers, the Sam and the Mike of that Washington Commanders team, looked like kids. Wagner would be Hall of Fame, he won a Super Bowl, but again, against that offensive line, hindi pa po ako nag-notes niya. It's just going on top of my head. So abangan ninyo yung Super Bowl breakdown natin. I'm so excited for that.
Fine. Any last thoughts?
I'm still waiting and expecting for a Lil Wayne surprise.
Oh, definitely!
In the halftime.
Kendrick
binigay sa kanya eh. Hindi
Kendrick
binigay
kasi.
sa kanya. A lot of
But-
people were
may
upset.
secret.
But Kendrick will be performing, so
With
expect California to be representing on that part of the Super Bowl. Everybody has something in this. Oh, ang ganda ng mga commercial, no? Ang ganda ng mga commercial. Oh, si Taylor Swift, pinakita na naman.
I really don't like that conversation.
To the Swifties, I apologize, but I am in there for the game. Alright? I'm not in there for the fanfare, and I hate it when she gets shown because it removes the luster of the game. She has zero effect on the game, and she is 100% appreciated. My daughter is a Swiftie, but when it's the NFL,
It's about the
the
game.
player, and it's about the game.
Comment down below.
Pero love ko yung mga Swifties. But for the NFL, it
Okay,
has-
I'll be very honest. As a girl na fan ng league na to, no, medyo doon natatay na, siguro fan ka because of Taylor Swift. I appreciate Taylor Swift, but I'm not a Swiftie, okay?
Yung daughter ko nga, di ba, bibilan ko, sabi ko sa kanya, mag-order kami kasi na meron akong Gronk na jersey, tsaka Tom Brady. Sabi ko, kasi Swiftie ka, gusto mo ba ng Travis Kelce? Sabi niya sa akin, mas gusto ko pa si Isaiah Pacheco kaysa kay Travis Kelce because she watches with me.
Anak
She has
Yun ang girl dad, guys. Yun ang
girl dad.
bakit mo ko bibilan ng Travis Kelce? Isusutin ko na lang yung jersey mo na nung nagpo-football ka. Parehas naman kayo ng position. Gusto ko Isaiah Pacheco, so she has an Isaiah Pacheco jersey. That's
On the
what
way
she
pa lang
wanted.
yung Mahomes jersey ko.
Ayan. Abot yun.
Abot.
Para sa susunod na
Feb
Super Bowl,
14.
pagbabawi na sila.
Kala ko pag na siya as GOAT.
Okay, wait lang. Just to clear things out, Eagles ka talaga push to win.
Hindi, New England forever, but I don't...
Between these two.
Between these two teams, I want to see if it's may qualifiers ako. If the Eagles are able to control the time of possession and keep Patrick Mahomes on the bench with their run game, Eagles will be able to win it. But if Patrick Mahomes and the defense of Steve Spagnuolo be able to contain the run game and the receivers provide more explosive plays, Juju Smith-Schuster was big. 2 catches, but very crucial catches. And the running backs of Kansas run angry, they might be looking at a 3-peat. So qualifier ako may mga dapat mangyari.
Okay.
Wala kasi po talaga akong investment dito. Gusto ko lang, pag tinatanong ako, kayo nakakampi, dun sa panalo. Kasi New England ako eh. Yun talaga yung team ko eh.
Okay, ikaw, El. Ayusin mo sagot.
I wanna live in a generation of a historical moment and to live in a generation first ever 3-peat and also to push the envelope into Patrick Mahomes as part of the GOAT conversation. Maybe surpassing early on in his career, in his trajectory. We don't know. I want SPNation to talk about that when that happens.
That would have been, he would have more championships
Early,
than Tom Brady. How old is he? 29?
29.
No, yun yung before 30. He would be having the most championships. But if you're winning championships at 41,
Is he
44,
29 or 26?
Mga ganun din. Older. A little bit older.
Okay. But,
So may viewing party ba tayo? Ayusin mo na yan, Kyla, para sa mga comment below if you want a viewing party.
hold on. Okay, I'm gonna share my sentiment.
Ayan.
Pagbigyan nyo lang yung
Ayan, go,
3-peat,
go,
guys. Okay, pagbigyan nyo lang. Tapusin na nila yung 3-peat and then after, maybe Eagles. But honestly, I appreciate Josh Allen.
Right.
Their game, super tight match with KC, but yeah. I mean, pagbigyan nyo na. Huwag na kayo haters, okay?
Choke. Dalton Kincaid. If you touch it, you catch it. If you touch, sabi nga ni Ivan Claric, yung coach ko sa football. If you touch it, you catch it. What? Do you have stone hands? Dun, pero it was a contested catch. Could have been. A lot of Bills Mafia guys are jumping over tables and wanting to find my address. Pero I'm just a football guy and I enjoy the game. Whoever wins. I would love it. It's good for the NFL because it has eyeballs and of course, hindi lang for men, pati yung mga women and younger girls have something to cheer on, and that's the game. That's what the game is all about.
Okay, it's time to move on, and it's time for SPN Expert Picks.
Sabi, ang haba ng tangent ko pag hyped ako eh. Let's go!
So first match, Pistons versus Pacers.
Ito, ako yata ang pinapick eh.
Yes.
Tama, di ba? So I picked the Detroit here because they came from 2 losses. And Indiana has a few guys who are beaten up, but they're on a 4-game winning streak. I want an upset here because Detroit needs this win. They need to be locked in step with that playoff picture. And Cade Cunningham is hitting his stride. He'll be an all-star again this season. And I like this team. I like the Detroit Pistons because Tobias Harris need to earn his paycheck.
For me, I will go the opposite. I pick the Pacers besides from the fact that they have a 3-4 win game streak. I think both of these teams are trying to collect wins. Kailangan nila manalo bago ng All-Star game, All-Star break. But I just see Indiana really capitalizing on their matchups against Detroit.
Okay, and then next we have Nuggets against Knicks.
Well, for the first time, I pick against the Knicks.
Ooh.
Denver lost back-to-back games then. So they're looking to bounce back. Nikola Jokic wants to gain some traction. New York is on a 4-game winning streak. So 4-0 the past 4 games. They've been hitting their stride. I picked them last Monday and they didn't disappoint. But Josh Hart is a little bit banged up. That's a big part of their squad. Mikal Bridges has been hitting his stride. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns starting the All-Star game. But the other pieces are in flux. They're medyo itong trip nila na to the last 5 games. Marami silang mga bumps and bruises along the way. But I'm picking Denver just because.
Yeah, Denver is playing phenomenal. Off to a rocky start.
Pero yung finish nila, finish
and
sa mga games.
Jokic is proving an MVP-worthy season again.
30, 10, and 10.
Also, nag-work yung yung pairing nila with Russell Westbrook. But I picked the New York Knicks because ito yung pinik ko na top 2 teams sa East before the season started. Boston and New York. Rocky start like the Nuggets, but they are finding their groove. Finally, Cat is proving well as a good pickup for them along with their Nova guys, minus si DiVincenzo. But again, it's an exciting team for the Knicks, and I think they're gonna match up really well. Cat can really match up well with Jokic.
Okay, next we have Cleveland and Miami Heat.
Well, ang pick nga dito, kailan ba nila matitrade si Jimmy Butler? He's suspended again.
I know, right?
Really,
Third time, diba? Third time.
to Charlotte. So definitely he'll be moved, provided that somebody provides them with enough severance package for him. But again, Cleveland will be they're rocky the past 5 games. Pero Darius Garland, itong si Spida, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen are humming along. Those 4 guys are really setting the tone, and they're looking for a longer campaign here. Might bring this squad to June. Who knows if they catch the Boston Celtics empty-handed in the playoffs? The ball might bounce their way. We'll see. But again, I'm picking them.
I also will pick the Cavaliers in this matchup aside from the fact. So Cleveland is, again, we already know this. Alam na natin na ito yung surprise of the season that the Cavaliers are doing well collectively in the East. And I think they will dominate this matchup just because not only they match up well, but the Heat also are going through the struggles. Kulang pa ng oras para talagang ma-embrace nila na walang Jimmy Butler yung lineup nila. They're trying to figure it out. Laban sila ngayon. They've been winning. Tyler Hero stepping up. Jovic stepping up. But at the same time, this is a top dog East team in the Cavaliers. So I will pick Cleveland to win.
Yeah, parehas kami Cleveland. Pero interesting, Miami, no Josh Richardson, no Jaime Jaquez has been beaten up. Si Jimmy Butler, of course, going through his annual phase before the playoffs. Big piece din pala na wala sa Cleveland is Isaac Okoro. This guy is really their glue guy for that starters. Provides a lot of soaks up a lot of minutes defensively. So moving forward, it's something that needs to be taken note of. Dahil he didn't make this trip with them. Pinagpapahinga siya due to that shoulder. So we'll see if he'll be healthy because your best ability is your availability when it comes to the playoffs. So, antabayanan natin yan dahil papasok na tayo sa stretch run.
Okay, before we move on to our comments, I'll just do a recap. Coach Hammer, Pistons, Pacers AL, Nuggets, Coach Hammer, New York Knicks AL, and Cleveland Cavaliers for the both of you, right?
Yes.
For our first comment, miss ko na si Kobe, we love to hate him. Celtics fan here.
Yeah.
We love to hate him, but then you begin to realize that
The impact.
you're starting to love him eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves winners. When you're winning more than enough, you would become the villain. Win long enough to be the villain of their hero story. Yun yung nangyari kay Kobe, and now
Yeah.
he is a legend.
And siya yung nagtatabon tayo ng basura na Kobe.
Kobe!
Yeah.
Never naman natin sinabi Lebron, di ba? Kahit
Yeah.
anong iba to, maruming damit sa akin. Kobe. Di ba?
Exactly.
So, yun yung impact niya.
Okay, our next comment. Kobe is a legend, correct. Pero ibang klaseng culture ng aggressiveness to reach a goal yung napakita niya. As in, ayaw magpasa ng bola, etc. Medyo naging aggressive, which yes, can be a good thing since he's chasing success, but it can also ruin the game for other players.
Ganda ng logic niya, Zal. Ako sasagot niyan.
Thank you, Rael.
Ako sasagot niyan. Bakit daw niya ipapasa kung alam niya na hindi nag-extra work yung kakampi?
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah.
He is there first man in, last man out. And he knows how much time people put in their games. That's why if Kobe trusts you and treats you like a brother, meron kang something. So who did he trust the most? Derek Fisher, Pau Gasol, even Shaq he didn't trust because Shaq was never doing extra work. He was just a physical specimen. And Shaq was adamant about that,
Yeah.
diba? Na he would rehab on company time, he would get in shape in company time. But Kobe operated at a different paradigm. If I'm here to be better, you should be working your tails off too. And why would I pass it to you if I'm taking all these extra shots? Get the rebound! Get the rebound! Nag-extra ako eh. Tas ikaw, darating ka rito, alas 10 ensayo, 9:59.
Right.
Tapos ng ensayo, alas 11, uuwi ka na,
Agad.
11:01. So how will you build that trust? He is just that maniacal to the end. Yung attention to detail niya is like that. And that's what we want from our alphas.
And thank you for that comment, no? But you have a point, but also how can you argue with 5 out of 7 rings, di ba? And buti sana kung nag-walkout siya at hindi nanalo eh. Pero na-discover niya yung blueprint, you can argue that Steve Nash leading assists, pero hindi nanalo eh, di ba? So there's a reason why, and I think it's all because of the role. If you have a scorer, you don't expect him to pass the ball. You expect him to see it through with the double team, triple team, because yung belief sa sarili niya. And hindi lang belief may hard work that backs it up. Na kaya niyang score at ipanalo yung game mag-isa. Diba? Pag, nanalo eh. Diba? Nanalo eh, diba?
Ang tanong lang naman Brad, nanalo ka ba sa Pilipinas? Panalo sana kaso naubusan ng oras. Aabutin pa sana namin kahit 30 lamang. Kaso nagkagulo.
Yeah.
Okay, next comment.
Kami nagkitawa ng tawa doon sa mga ano ko. Aabutin pa sana namin 30 lang kaso nagkagulo.
Okay, Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest sports figure of all time, an icon that we'll remember for a lifetime. Love him or hate him, his competitiveness stand the most on anyone.
Yeah, we agree.
Facts.
Yeah.
Spitting bars.
Okay, thank you so much, Justin, for your comment. Do we have any more comments? Okay. Fave quote from coaching, bariya-bariya lang kami pero papalag kami. Ganyang mindset ng Red Bull.
Totoo. Kasi nung unang conference nila, yun nga, nabanggit namin yung 6. Sino ba yun? Inaalala ko kasi, 5 pa lang yung nabanggit ko eh. May isa pa akong player na hindi nabanggit eh. Kasi si Hart, si Kirby, si Torion, si Valenzuela,
Torion pa pala.
at saka si Tugade.
Lordy.
6 yan eh. 6 yung inangat nila. Prod guy, message mo nga ako kung sino yung pang-6. 5 yung na 6 yan eh, na direct hire, na aakyat sa PBA. Tsaka, yung barya-barya nila, kasi lagi may salary cap nun eh. Yung ba, umabot pa ng 500. Dati 500,000.
Hanggang ngayon din naman
May salary cap, pero marahil si Benny mo na. Not privy po ako dyan. Siya po yung number 1 pick. Siya po yung number 1 pick. Alam niya yan, ha? Alam niya yan.
Okay. Last comment. It's been a long time coming for the Philadelphia Eagles. Lagi na lang favorite yung Chiefs eh. Ano naman? No, madami namang haters ng Chiefs to be honest. And of course, sino bang just like Kobe, di ba? Kung sino yung on top, sino yung alpha. Ang daming haters.
Siyempre, pagka panalo ka, maraming galit. Kasi siyempre, 32 teams yan eh. Isa lang yung magcha-champion, eh di 31. Ano ka, pag natalo ka, hindi ka first runner-up, ikaw yung first loser. Yun yung totoo. Sinusugarcoat natin lahat eh. Go.
Pagod sa, hindi sure win ng KC guys Hindi sila, sa momentum ngayon ng Eagles, talagang dogs ang
I think 1.5 point favorite ang ano eh.
I think
hindi ko alam kung nag-move na yun. Parang pick to win lang to eh.
For Chiefs ba?
Oo, for
Two
Chiefs.
ata.
Ayan, pick to win lang yan, one field goal lang. 1.5 to 2.5 lang yan, pero iyak na iyak sigurado kay best friend ko. Kasi yung parlay niya kailangan tumama, si Josh Allen pumasok. Kumpiyansa siya kasi sabi ko sa kanya, pre, Ohio State, sure ball. Okay. Shohei Ohtani, sure ball. Dalawa na, yung pangatlong parlay niya, pumasok lang yung Bills. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, Brad, parang Tom Brady to. Bro, never bet against Patty Mahomes when it's going into the Super Bowl. And especially if he is well rested. Didn't listen! Could have hit the parlay of his life. Could have hit that parlay of his life. Mag-qualify
doon pa siya
na.
hindi nag-sure win.
Sabi niya, Patty Mahomes. Sabi niya, ang dami kasing nawala. Chelsea doon, napuyat doon sa mga Eras Tour. Napuyat, nandun sumasakay sa, baka humina na. Nakakalimutan niya na. Sa lahat ng madadraft, binigay pa ng mga GM, di ko na alam kung nag-iisip ng mga ibang GM, binigay yung pinakamabilis na player nung nakaraang draft kay Patrick Mahomes at kay Andy Reid. Hindi ko alam tama, sakuha pa na si DeAndre Hopkins. Ako paulit-ulit, antayin nyo na lang sa Feb7. Prod guy, ibigay mo sa amin yung buong episode na yun kasi hindi kami titigil.
Okay, thank you so much Pagod sa Buhay Comics for your comment. Okay, let's just do a quick recap of our discussion tonight. So first, remembering Mamba.
Mamba forever.
Gaano kaastig ang Red Bull noon?
Hashtag, bumangga, diba?
Yun.
Naka-ready kami
Yun.
yun.
Of course, Chiefs, Eagles rivalry coach.
Baran niyo yung pre-game show namin. Yes. Hindi po magiging showbiz yun. Hindi namin pag-uusapan yung mga glitz and glamour. We'll be going to the nitty-gritty and the numbers.
And yung abangan din natin yung SPNation watch party, diba? Live one, diba?
Send nyo kami ng thumbs up and like. Itag nyo po si Kyla Ortiz kung gusto nyo matuloy yan.
And of course, change topic eh. And of course, our SPN expert picks, of course, to help you guys. Ulitin ko again, for Coach Hammer, Piston, Nuggets, and Cavaliers. And for you, Pacers, Knicks, and Cavaliers as well. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, register now at sportsplus.ph. So thank you guys. Happy Chinese New Year once again. I'm Kyla Cortez. Joining me tonight are Elbanal and Coach Hammer, Antonio. Thank you guys.
There's a bunch of different things that just like put it all together. Everything has like a different meaning.